Hello, hello, and welcome back to the What We Said podcast.
Hey guys.
Happy middle of January. The year is started.
Flying by.
I can't believe it's already halfway through January. I've been having to write like 2025, like I was filling out a form and I did the age-old thing where I did 2024 and then I was like, I had to cross it out and be like 2025. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
We're here.
We're here.
How's everyone's January going? Hope everything's going great.
How are you feeling like with like vision boards? Like, are you feeling, because you're a Capricorn, so this is like your time to shine. Are you feeling ready for the new year? Like you're like, I'm on the grind. I'm waking up. I'm like doing all my things. Or are you kind of like, I need a buffer time?
Not quite, but I've said this before. January is my reset month. Capricorn season is my reset month. I don't like to put too much pressure on myself at the very beginning of January to have everything figured out because I just don't think that's realistic. I feel like after the holidays, you need a second. At least I do. I need like a buffer, especially now being an adult, being a parent. I'm like, give me a second. I'm not ready to like hit the ground running January 1st. I need a couple weeks to like ease into things. So am I feeling excited about the new year and like have some, you know, a vision for it? Definitely. But am I like there yet? No.
Yeah.
I've not been. It's also been so gloomy here and windy. Like I've been in kind of cozy mode still.
Yeah.
Not like get up and grind. Although the Pilates princesses have graced you today. We're in our workout clothes because we are going to go to a Pilates class after this.
Yeah.
So we're on our grind.
Sure we are.
Like, yeah, that's
we just
it.
dress up and make it look like it.
We're cosplaying.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I was gathering photos for my vision board and I was going to go print them out and I was just like,
Not feeling it.
something's telling me to just wait like a little bit longer. Like I feel as though I'm being phony with some of these. They're not feeling right. I'm feeling rushed. Like I have to do this right now, but I'm still really feeling like hibernation mode.
Yeah.
Like I'm not quite ready. I think because of the gloominess and just it's still been cold. I haven't been like, let's wake up at sunrise and get, you know.
Yeah.
David Goggins is still hibernating. He's still sleeping.
I was going to say he would disagree, but I do think you have to. I saw this video that was talking about, which we've talked about this many times, like seasonally, how
I was going to say
your body
big
will feel
into
different.
That. Yeah.
And I do think it's important. You have to just be real with yourself. This is how I feel, whether I'm being restful or lazy. And I think there is a difference, but winter brings out like you just feel a little bit more cozy and like you need more rest and maybe you don't want to hit the ground running. That's totally fine. I feel like if you force it, again, David Goggins would be shaking and he would be saying, I'm a loser. Yeah. But I think that sometimes you have to listen to that.
Yeah.
He's
he
not a
doesn't
girl.
know our life. He's
no. And you know what? He's not a girl.
Yeah.
And I saw this thing that was talking about how she was like, I don't take advice from men, and not because I don't like respect them or I don't think they have valuable information, but they don't get it.
Yeah.
Because they're not a woman.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't take most advice from men because they've not had our life experience.
I 100% agree. I feel the same. I have had no shame in being like this. I'm still kind of hibernating. I feel like I was hustling and had so much, like after Christmas, I had like a letdown. Like everyone was getting sick, but I got like sick and I just felt like my body was like trying to do so much. And like that time, the holidays for work is like the craziest. Yep. And so we're like, I don't know, just doing a lot, planning a lot, you know, it's so exciting. It's so fun. There's so many events, you know, all that stuff with Casey's birthday, like traveling, just Christmas in general, wanting to make it something special. And that's all great and fun and exciting. But afterwards, I was like, it's like after you get done with a big event or you have something that's not stressing you out, but putting stress on your body, you know, when you have like the letdown, like it's done. Like I remember after my wedding, I got sick. Rest. Yeah, like I always get like a little sick where I'm just like, now my body can like relax and whatever was dormant, that was like my body was just like, not now, not now. It's like, okay, let's let it out. Let's release. Let's detox.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I felt like the week after Christmas. I was just like, is there something on my head? Oh my gosh.
Not that I
felt like a spider was on my hair.
I'm like, oh, the rat?
Yeah.
It's fine. No, there's
just
nothing.
my postpartum regrowth.
I completely agree. I think that it's very normal to.
So I'm not quite
like
ready. Like I don't think a week was enough to be like, and now let's get on our grind. Let's do it.
No.
I know that will come probably when it gets a little warmer. And I'm so ready to do my vision board. I've been journaling, but my journaling hasn't been like, and now tomorrow I'm going to get up and do this. It's like, let's, what's the word I'm looking for? Reflect. I've been more of like reflecting.
Okay, I like that.
And actually being intentional about what I want to accomplish this
What
year.
have been some recent reflections?
Oh, I'm like, we don't want to get into it. Well, recent reflections, really, I think when I allow myself downtime, like I was saying, we went to Arizona for like the week after Christmas and we just spent time with family and just like did nothing. I got a little bit sick and we were like just chilling. I have time to let my thoughts race, and sometimes that's not good. Especially when you're PMSing. But I was just realizing that I feel as though sometimes, this is going to get like, I don't know how deep I want to go with this, but I sometimes distract myself well enough from like feelings
Okay.
with, just in general, emotions, things that I try and distract myself from or, keep myself busy enough to not think about. And when I'm allowing myself to rest, I have to kind of work through those feelings of like, I don't even know, just life in general. I think grief like brings up a lot of feelings and just like change. I think I've just really been reflecting upon change and how an uncertainty is really the main themes of my anxiety, I guess, and trying to figure things out, which you can't figure it out. Like that's the thing that drives me crazy sometimes is like I just want to figure it out and like have a certainty so I feel like I can move forward with like the full knowledge of things. And I just
Like figure what out? Like what your future is going to look like or something? Or
everything.
What?
Future, life, health, loved ones, life after death, like just all
Everything.
of the universe's questions. And I think what I kind of was reflecting upon is like this time of my life is so tender and so like
Chelsey, we love this
what
about
did
you.
I want to do? I literally had other things written down.
I'm sorry.
Like
I shouldn't have asked
baking.
about the reflection.
I'm into baking now. That's what I wanted to talk about today.
I didn't want to. Here's the thing. It's beautiful to cry.
I know, but I think my nervous system is like dysregulated or something. Like I've got to get a hold of my tears, my teariness. I'm also postpartum.
I know the feeling of when you really don't want to cry and then you
like,
do
no,
and you're like, no,
I'm
I
done.
literally can't speak.
And
It's
the more
like,
I fight it, I'm just like, the second I start fighting it, I'm like, I know it's going to come worse. Like, I just need to like accept it. Anyways.
we love that you show your emotions.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
I don't, but anyways.
You literally do.
What? No, I'm saying I don't love that I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I have never cried.
Gaslights me. She's like,
I'm
I'm
like,
not
I don't have
crying,
emotions.
Jaci.
No, I don't love that I do. That's what I meant. Anyways, what was I even saying? Oh, this time of my life is just so tender and so amazing. And I feel so grateful that I think it can sometimes make me be like, which I think is natural, just a human instinct to want to protect, especially when you're a mom. It's like protection is like a big, I don't know, instinct I have.
Yeah.
And part of that for me is like trying to figure out how to keep my family safe and happy and like, thriving forever. And just knowing, I don't know, just like when your parents get older and just like things change, dynamics change, it's just kind of hard to deal with, I think sometimes.
Totally.
And not that it's ever bad. Like that's kind of what I was saying last week or on your birthday episode when I was saying like, I was alluding to, I'm like, if you guys ever think that something bad's happening, just know like good things can happen too. I think also just, we know every 4 years, it just gets a little like sticky. Like the vibes are rancid. Like,
election years. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
It's very
2020
divisive.
rancid vibes.
Rancid. It's very divisive. It's very
The
stressful.
cycle.
It's very overwhelming. It's incredibly complex
Existential.
dynamics
Yeah.
that you're working through whatever. Totally.
And honestly, a lot of mine is like, again, not to get too, I don't even want to like get into it too deeply, but a lot of mine is like existential stuff where it's just like things you genuinely cannot control. And
your anxieties or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like things you can't control, things you shouldn't be worried about. because what's the point? But it's hard when you're actually worried. It's hard when you're in it and you're worried about it and you have like all my anxiety girlies are like, you know, if you have.
You know that you shouldn't be worrying, but it doesn't mean you're not going to.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
It's like the most annoying thing when someone's just like, you just don't worry about that. There's no you. What good is what good is worrying? That worrying? It's like literally.
Yeah, like you can't get out of the cycle of it. And granted, I was PMSing, but yeah. Anyway, so that was happening while I was on my rest, but it was good. It was like I think I was going through a lot of like just realizations, as Kylie Jenner would say. Of just you know trying to gain a deeper acceptance of life, basically. And that's harder, I think, like I was saying on the episode, is when you love things and when you have like, when I love my life so much. I love like pretty much every aspect of my life. I'm so grateful for my life. I feel so lucky. And when I get out of my routine or if I let, you know, I don't know. That's kind of what I don't have the answer, unfortunately. Sorry. I'm like, just
we were expecting you to give us the secrets of the universe today.
Yeah. Anyways, it makes me, I'm more susceptible to like getting in the spiral of it. Once I'm in the spiral, it's hard to like pull myself out, but routine always helps. Gratitude always helps. Journaling in my dreams journal. That's the answer. My dream life journal.
That's the answer to cure everything, you guys.
But journaling really does help. I'm not just saying that. Like reflecting on my day, being present helps so much. But yeah, that's kind of what
you've
I've been going through. That's what I've been up to.
You know what? We've all been there. We've all been there.
And I remember, this is what actually gets me through is that, first of all, I'm postpartum. So I know that like I went through something very similar. It's hard when you're in, like, I don't know, everyone's like, please talk to a therapist immediately. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but whether it's anxiety, postpartum, whatever it is, situational, not, whatever. When you're in something like that, when you're in it, like mentally, it's so hard to think. I talk to Abby about this a lot because she has OCD and she's anxiety and she talks about it a lot. She's worked so hard. She knows so many, like she's been to different kinds of therapy. She works really hard to like keep herself out of that, you know, whatever. But so I've been talking to her a lot about it. But basically, when you're in it, it's hard to think about. You kind of have the thought that this is how you'll always feel.
Yeah.
And totally. That you've always felt like that. You're just like, I've never been happy and I never will be again. Like when you're so in it. And then I just was thinking about how different times, like even freshly postpartum with Casey, we're actually around the same time, feeling existential anxiety and being like, wait, I felt better. In between those two, like I had lots of time where I was feeling so much better and I was enjoying life and I was feeling peace. Not necessarily happiness. That's not like the goal to like feel delusionally happy all the time, but like peaceful and content and like being able to function. And
I was going to ask you if like you've felt similarly before like last postpartum time. Because I do think that's good to reflect on. Like when I was pregnant, I had this like 2-month period where I had such severe health anxiety that I had never. That made me understand what anxiety was. Yeah. Because I thought I understood, like, oh yeah, I get anxious about things. And then when I had that period of time, I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm in a hole. Yes. I'm in a spiral. Like I can't, it doesn't matter what anyone says. I'm like, no, I'm not okay.
Yeah. Like I can't move.
Yeah. And so I do like understand what you mean when you feel like you're just like in this place. And I kind of felt the same where I'm like, this is my life forever. Like I will never not be so stressed about like everyone's health around me and like all this stuff. And then a few months later, I just felt a lot better. Yeah. And it's like, it's nice to remember that, to be like, okay, I've had these feelings before. They passed eventually and things got better and life is kind of just a roller coaster. Yeah. Like it is.
And then when you're out of it and if you're not thinking about it, because if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have been like, oh no, I don't think I've really struggled with that before, like anxiety before. But then when you're in it, you remember. And I think your brain like kind of protects you, like, because obviously if you remember how bad you felt, then you kind of start feeling that way again. So it's hard to remember how anxious you felt or whatever. But yeah, I've felt the same way. The last like probably month or so, I kind of talk about my YouTube video and everyone's like, seek help.
BetterHelp.
Yeah.
Call her.
I'm like, reach out to me, please. Anyways, so I'm feeling much better. And it's not like overnight. I wake up and I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
But I just have tools. Like I said, I have Abby helps me so much, like gives me so much wisdom. I feel like she's my older sister in that aspect of it. My mom gives me great, she's struggled with anxiety and stuff like that. So I have great resources, and I do feel like day by day when I do things that make me feel better, and I journal and I'm like reflecting and I'm grateful and I'm grounded and I'm like trying to keep afloat and trying to keep, I don't even know necessarily what the word is, like thriving. I don't want to just be like, I'm just existing. Like, I want to be thriving. I want to feel, and I know I can feel that way. And I see, I'm on my way up. So don't worry about me too much, but that's been up to me.
I think that's very relatable, very valid. I think that regardless if it's anxiety or something else, like there's just slumps in life where it's not. And I think sometimes it's even worse to be like, I should be better. I should be thriving right now. Like it's the beginning of the year. I need to, to almost, that makes it worse when you're like, but I should be living this other way, or I should be super motivated because it's January. It's like, no, it's just, different things happen at different times. Like Kenzie Elizabeth always talks about how she has like summertime sadness, essentially, like seasonal depression, but in the summertime, she's like, I do not love the summertime. Like, and I don't know. It's like a lot of people feel the opposite, where it's like they thrive in the summertime and then in the fall and winter they feel low and whatever, but it's like everyone's just different. We all have different times where we have like slumps, and depending on what you're going through, it's gonna change, and it's just like, be where you are. It's fine.
Yeah. And I think one thing that really helps me, I think the holidays can also bring up a lot of stuff. So if you guys are feeling the same way around the holidays, like I think that's also very normal. Whether it's because I reposted this thing on Christmas that was kind of basically talking about how I felt. It was like, if you are going into this holiday season, again, the holidays are like behind us, but I'm just saying we're still in the hangover of it.
Yeah.
Like it's like such a marker of time. Like when you're decorating your Christmas tree, you can't help but think like, oh, last year when I was taking
it's kind of like
decorations
a birthday
out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a milestone.
Yeah. Like what's changed this year? Sometimes some years it's like, this was the best. I can't believe I'm already here. Like, and then some years you're like, dang, like you're healing from something. Maybe you lost something. Maybe you lost someone. It's just like, you're just like, oh wow, it makes you reflect, and which is good. I think it's very necessary to like reflect and kind of pick up the pieces, but it's also very important to move forward, not necessarily move on, but like move forward. And one of the things that helped me a lot, like in the week that I feel like I was feeling like really anxious and just like racing thoughts and things like that, where it's just like, oh, all I want to do is like stay in bed and just like literally sleep. First of all, having kids who you can't have a day off is very helpful because you're like, well, I literally
Humbling.
have no choice. Yeah. And luckily we were like with my in-laws, and so I had help, but I also didn't want to just like be in bed all day, because I feel like the thing that helps me the most is like connection, like getting out, being with people, socializing. Again, not for everyone, but for me. Talking to people, not necessarily about that, but
just like in general.
Just in general, because it makes you feel so much more normal. It makes you feel so connected.
And it's a lot less alone. Yes. I think whenever I isolate myself and I think it's going to be a good idea.
No.
Like even if I force myself, I'm like, okay, I should, like I had these plans I want to cancel. I don't want to do this. Like I just, like I'm feeling anxious, upset and anxious or something. When I'm around people who like I love and who bring out the best in me, I'm always 100% of the time I'm like, I'm so glad I went.
Yes.
I feel like that too. And not everyone's the same. Some people need like a little bit of isolation or alone time.
A break.
And everyone needs alone time, but I totally get that.
Yeah. Sometimes when I feel the same way. Like I'll be catching myself isolating, like not replying to people, not wanting to go out, and like not making plans, not whatever.
Yeah.
And when I just push myself to be like, okay, just go try, just talk to someone. Like you don't have to be like fake or anything.
Yeah.
Just like go and socialize and whatever.
Yeah.
And it just makes it feel just like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is
Life
good.
Life is worth living.
Literally.
Yeah, I feel that.
And doing little simple things you love. And really just gratitude honestly helps me the most. Not toxic gratitude of like trying to ignore my anxiety, but just reflecting on things that are going right, that like what is going on right now. Not was going on in the past, not what is going on to happen in the future, but like what is happening right now, and like doing things, whatever it is, to like focus on that.
And focusing as much as possible on what you can control, and like kind of the let them thing that we were talking about. It's like, I think for me, a lot of my anxiety stems from like, I mean, it's my own problem. But
like wanting to control.
Yes, like wanting to control like situations, or like this person did this. And like, it's just like, if you just kind of take a deep breath and be like, okay, is that in my control at all? Like even health stuff, like is what is in my control? I will do everything possible, but if it's not in my control to know exactly what's going on, like let's take a deep breath, because, and I'm not saying it's going to cure your anxiety, because again, when I was severely
like, have you ever tried breathing in through your nose?
I'm like, you guys, just meditation. It's so easy. Seriously. No, I get that. I think that it's not, there's not really an answer, but just focusing as much as possible on like your life and being present and the things you can control, and then just take a deep breath.
Yeah, accepting that you have anxiety. I think also for me, sometimes I will like really try and hide from it or distract myself, or like
have you ever been diagnosed with anxiety, or like gone to someone who said that they think you have that, or no?
I've been diagnosed here or there with little things. No one's ever been like, I don't really know what that means. Like I've had therapists tell me that I have family, so I have anxiety, but no one's been like, so you have anxiety?
Yeah. I don't know if that's what they even do. I'm just asking.
I know, I don't either. I mean, my therapist a while ago when I had the eating disorder, like she definitely hinted at it. Again, I don't really remember. Yeah. Kind of alluded to it more so because also, I don't want to get into like all my freaking diagnoses.
No, we don't need to. I was just wondering if that's, if, because I don't know how that works either. Because I just hear that
I have lots of family history. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of verbiage of that. It's like, well, when I finally got diagnosed with this, it like helped me so much because then I knew what or whatever. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was telling my mom, like, but I'm not that anxious. She's like, you are. You're anxious. Like, that's okay. Like, you can say you're anxious about this. And I was like, okay, I do have anxiety about it. And sometimes it just helps to
just be like very honest about it too. Just like, okay, this is how I'm feeling in the moment.
Yes, instead of fighting it. Sometimes when you fight something, it's like, don't think about a purple elephant. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to be thinking now that you've said that about the purple elephant nonstop, you know?
Mm-hmm. I have personally been on my hydro jug grind, guys. I've been trying to drink more water, and a cute emotional support water bottle is a great way to do so. Hydro Jug has so many really fun color combos and sizes for their water bottles that I just love. Their viral Hydro Jug Traveler is completely leak proof, and it truly is. Like, you can tip it upside down, shake it, throw it in your bag, put it on your couch or in your car without worrying about spills. I gifted one of these to my mom, and she has told me a million times how much she loves it and that it truly is leak proof, which I do feel like is unique, because a lot of water bottles, they can be cute, they can hold, whatever, a good amount of water, but if they spill in your car or if they spill in your bag, like, there's water all over everything, which is especially annoying if you decide to put any like greens powder or something like that in your water and it's just like sticky everywhere. Something that's unique about the Traveler compared to other bottles like it is also the circular flip straw. So it's more hygienic than other bottles because you can flip the straw down and it doesn't have to touch anything besides your lips.
Their lid is also clear so that you can see your hydration progress throughout the day, which is always satisfying. And the Traveler will keep your drinks cold all day. I am obsessed with these water bottles. You guys, I have so many different colors. Nick has one. I have one. Case has one. I need to get one for Elwood when he starts really drinking water because they're just the best. They have so many cute colors, great sizes for everybody. If you want one that's not so big that you want to, take around to workouts or whatever, but also if you want a big one to have at your desk at work or something like that, they are so perfect. So if one of your New Year's resolutions is to start drinking more water, definitely check out Hydro Jug. Get your Hydro Jug Traveler at www.thehydrojug.com and use the code WhatWeSaid to get 10% off your order. Hydro Jugs are game changers for anyone on the go. Again, use code WhatWeSaid at www.thehydrojug.com to get 10% off and start hydrating. I love the sponsor of ours, Nordic Naturals. I have been taking so many of their supplements. I've been getting the whole fam on it as well. Case takes their DHA for kids gummies. They're so good, honestly. They have a vitamin C that I take. I love their magnesium, and Nick loves them too. But one of the main ones that I've been trying to implement into my daily routine that I think is really important is the Ultimate Omega. So Nordic Naturals Ultimate Omega is trusted by doctors and healthcare professionals to deliver foundational omega-3 fatty acid support for heart, brain, joint, and mood health, immune system function, and so much more. More than 80% of Americans don't get enough omega-3 fats from their diet. Nordic Naturals is the number one selling omega-3 brand in the US. Definitely check it out if you're looking to add an omega into your routine. I think it's super important and it's so easy. It's just, I take 2 capsules with my breakfast and I can check it off my list.
It's also nice because it doesn't have any fishy aftertaste. Very important, especially with an omega. Their new Ultimate Omega plant-based delivers 1,210 milligrams of concentrated omega-3s derived from algae in just 2 veggie soft gels, a much higher daily dose than most vegetarian options. And their Ultimate Omega comes in soft gels, liquid, zero sugar gummies, kids supplements like Chelsey mentioned, and their new plant-based formula to give the whole family a reliable source of the omega-3s we all need. So there's really something for everyone. You guys can use promo code WWS for 15% off your next order at nordic.com. Again, that is promo code WWS for 15% off your next order at nordic.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
So anyways, I've been baking more.
Love it. What have you been baking?
I finally, a year ago, Nick got me the KitchenAid like mixer thing for Christmas.
Same.
Yeah, we both got it.
We got the same one.
And Thanksgiving really... I talked about how that really like set me off on my baking journey because I made bread. And I feel like bread is kind of hard to do. I made like rolls. But I, dipped my toe into like, okay, I could see how this could be fun to try and figure out the best way.
Me thinking you dip your toe into the bread. I'm like, no, what are we talking about here?
No, dipped my toe into bread making, which kind of led me to baking a little more. I was like, okay, I can do this. And so with the holidays, Case loves helping in the kitchen. And so I'm like, let's make some fun stuff. Like, let's make cookies for Santa. We made like chocolate chip cookies. We made these little like Grinch balls. And it's just like not as hard as I thought it. Like, I had made it out to be in my head of like chocolate chip cookies, like from scratch. Where I'm like, okay, let's try this.
There is nothing like a chocolate chip cookie from scratch.
It was so good.
There is quite literally nothing like it. If they're baked well and like done, if it turns out well,
even if they don't, like, I'll eat anything.
Yeah, there's enough sugar in there.
Even if they're like burnt to a crisp, I can find a way to enjoy it.
Yeah, true.
So we made a couple things. I've been trying to make more cinnamon rolls.
What's been the best thing you've made that you're like, this tasted the best?
Okay, the Grinch balls. Okay, I know it sounds weird. They're like little balls that are supposed to look like the Grinch. Basically cake pops.
Okay,
pretty easy.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. No actual like baking involved, I guess. So maybe that's not technically baking. It's more like
just like dough.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like mixing crushed up stuff with cream cheese, freezing it, whatever.
Okay.
And then like melting the chocolate, dipping it in chocolate, and like we put like little eyes on them to look like the Grinch. And we like gave them to neighbors and stuff, and it was so fun. And they were so good. Like they're just like cake pops.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to mess those up. But the chocolate chip cookies were great. The cinnamon rolls, like the frosting's great. Every time I make them, I'm like, this frosting is so good. Like I could eat this forever. But I did serve, when you guys all came over, Jaci and Leif and Benny and Keaton and Abby came over. We did like a little Christmas gift exchange. A little family get together. I made cinnamon rolls for everybody.
What?
And I handed them out to everybody. And I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. When you make something like, and you give it to someone, you know immediately if it's good or not. Because I handed it out and everyone starts eating. And I'm like, oh, did you guys like get the, and everyone's like, oh yeah, we're already eating. And I'm like, okay, so.
Wait, get the what? Oh, like get it in your hands.
Yeah, like they were like
started eating.
You guys were already eating it. Like mouthfuls. Crickets. I'm like, so these are obviously disgusting.
They were not disgusting whatsoever.
Like everyone's just eating silently, which usually I think if it's good, you can't help but like take a bite and be like, this is so good.
That's
but
what you'd hope.
I'm not expecting.
That's what you'd
That's
hope.
what you want.
When you're the one who made it, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure I felt the same way about the soup that I made because no one said a word. I'm like,
no,
do we hate? And everyone's like, no, it's so good. I'm like, then say that within the first 10 seconds. Like, literally scald your mouth. Like, I don't care.
That soup was so good.
Okay, well, thank you for the
honestly, send me the recipe.
No, I totally.
So
that is actually
they could have been better,
but no, they were not bad. Though,
I know,
Chelsey.
but the other thing is that within 5 seconds, I think I can't remember, Keaton, maybe Abby were over there. The first comments from your guys' mouth were not, these are so good. Abby's like, yeah, you could use a little more cinnamon. And Jaci's like, what'd you put in the middle? Like, maybe a little more frosting, like the sides, like critiques first. I'm like, okay.
No, that is actually the worst feeling, so I'm sorry. But
no, it's fine. I appreciate it. Like, I know I'm not whatever, but you always have hope. Maybe I got it right the second time.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's your second time making cinnamon rolls. My first time making cinnamon rolls, they were drier than the Sahara Desert, and I never tried again. I'm not kidding. I haven't made them since. It's been 3 years.
Well, we can try together again. Maybe together we can really create the perfect one.
I think cinnamon rolls are hard to make, and I mean, maybe seasoned bakers don't think so. My mom made some when we were. I have a few tips.
I saw
secrets of the trade that I learned when I was there.
What I need the most help with is the middle part. Like making sure they are the cinnamon the cinnamon sugar paste
filling.
Yeah, the right proportions of that.
My mom Jilly said, okay, first of all, she whipped these cinnamon rolls up out of like excess ingredients that we had with no recipe.
Okay, interesting.
Now, what do you mean?
Yeah,
she's like pouring stuff, and I'm like, what recipe are you using? She's like, I'm not using a recipe. I'm like, what do you mean? How are you going to get it right? It was already, the dough was already made, so that was, but she said, she's like, I usually do more filling than it even says to do.
Okay, that's,
She's like, you can't have not enough filling. It just doesn't, it like doesn't, I don't know if it doesn't bake right or it just, whatever.
That's how my second ones were.
Yeah, so she was like, basically more filling than you maybe even think. And then there was like a science to when she took it out of the oven because she's like, you don't want it to be raw, but you don't want it to be dry. I honestly forgot what that tip was. But she said her favorite recipe for cinnamon rolls are half-baked Harvest overnight cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
And they have a little bit of eggnog in the icing.
Okay.
Or in the dough, maybe. Maybe the dough and the icing, but she said it's not, you can't taste the eggnog. It's not like it's like so eggnoggy. Yeah. But she said that's her favorite recipe. Recently, I think we have another one maybe in my family. I don't know, but she said that's a great recipe if anyone out there.
Okay,
this is coming from the baking expert, and then she gave me a few tips. So maybe next time we make them, we can implement those things.
Yeah, I need that. Also, Nick really has also been cooking so much. I can't remember. I think it was a couple months ago. I was like, my plan is working. Like I have empowered him and gaslit him to being the cook of the house because he's better at it than me. And this is how I know is because after I made the cinnamon rolls, the ones that I gave you guys, I was like, something's just like off about it. I don't know what I did. They're not like, he's like, you know what would be good in that is like eggnog. You should add eggnog. Like he just knows, you know how some people just know the taste.
Yeah. They have like a knack.
Yes. And like I made these rolls for Thanksgiving and I was like, something's off. And he's like, they're missing salt. And I was like oh my gosh, I did forget the salt. Like I can't believe I forgot the salt. It was like 2 pinches.
He can pick out the the
and I'm
details.
like, see now, I don't have that, and that's what we need in this kitchen.
Yeah.
So he cooks mostly all of the meals.
Okay, David
I do the
Clark.
fun stuff. Yeah.
No. The next step is gaslighting Leif to believe that he loves cooking. Yeah. I've been saying this for 5 years. I've been waiting for the fixation to hit.
Yes.
Because now
wasn't he like teetering on the sourdough for a while?
He was for a second, and I think my eyes lit up too much, and he decided to snuff it.
Yeah. You have to do reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Like, you're not good at this.
No, he is always fixated on things that don't benefit me at all. I'm like, come on.
It'll come.
I know. He is, what is his current fixation? One of them is Rivian cars. You know, the brand Rivian or Rivian. I'm not sure how to pronounce. That, and there's one, drum sets.
That could benefit you, the new car.
Yeah, it could. We've had our car for like 9 years-ish. And she's having some issues. But so we've been thinking about getting a new car at some point, maybe this year, potentially. So he's fixated on a Rivian. We've never even been in one.
Yeah.
And I think it's electric. So I don't know about all of that.
Interesting.
But he has been fixated on a drum set. Because now tell me if that's going to benefit me.
No.
Maybe because his brother got one for Christmas, which I think it was an electric one, so it's not as loud. And the thing is,
headphones.
I don't want to dampen his dreams because Leif is insanely musically talented. Actually, he's very good at picking out beats, and I don't know, I always say that if he didn't ever do filmmaking and video stuff, he would be doing something with music. So honestly, I think that could be a great hobby for him. So I don't want to hate on it. I'm just saying it doesn't benefit me directly. Okay, now make the sourdough. That's what I want your hobby to be.
The sourdough.
That's what I want. Seriously. Cooking meat. Let's get into meat smoking or something, pizza making. I don't know. I feel like there's certain
the meat is the gateway. That was Nick's gateway.
Okay.
Is the meat and the grilling, and we got and now
so
he's wanting new
that might be the first
Blackstone breakfast.
Okay. The meat might be the ticket.
We
don't have a yard.
I feel
right now.
Leif would do the fish.
The fish is good.
Yeah, get him a sushi making kit or something.
Okay, that could be good. I actually think he could be down with that. Okay, I like that. He doesn't listen, so I'm gonna get him the thing is, we don't have a yard right now. When we have a backyard, well, we have a backyard, but it's dirt. So we're trying to landscape, which brings me to my next
I have a
subject.
master plan. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
I posted this gorgeous montage of me setting up the curtains in my room. Literally, they look so beautiful. Draping, so zen in there. Completed the room. Now, what are all the comments? You should change the cinder block wall outside. Really? You think I should change that heinous cinder block wall and the dirt and the weeds?
You think I should have a backyard?
I didn't realize that. Let me go back to when I've said 300 times that we're working on our landscaping. It hasn't been done yet. Anyway, I thought that was so funny.
Try being an influencer for a day.
Try it. It's so hard. I was dying. I'm like, you guys, that's what we're focused on?
Yeah.
Focus on the curtains, okay? They're you should hang something on the cinder block wall. I'm like, girl, the cinder block wall will not be here soon.
Yeah.
She's saying or paint on it or something so that it doesn't look like that. I'm like, okay, it will be changed in no time. Don't you worry. Actually, it might take some time. Anyway, what's the master plan for getting Leif to cook?
I was just going to say, so maybe what are those things called? Gosh. Gordon Ramsay uses it to cook hamburgers, but it's a cast iron skillet.
Okay. I have one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say small. Maybe get a new great cooking, something that when someone looks at it's I want to know how to use that.
Yeah,
get it and be oh, I got this for myself. I really want to use how to do it, but I don't know how to do it. Then their mansplaining instincts will kick in.
True.
And they'll want to be well, I bet I could figure it out. Then they'll start getting into it. Then they'll start being wait, okay, actually you do this. Here, let me show you. Let me cook this. This is how you cook a steak on here. And then he'll be oh my gosh, that was easy.
Okay, I like that. That could actually work. That could actually work. Because I do feel when we get something nifty and new, Leif's all into it.
That would work on me, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Gorgeous plan. I'd like to update everyone that my house no longer smells like a skunk. Round of applause. It smells much better. We went through multiple days of bowls of vinegar all over our house.
Does that just suck the scent in? Interesting.
I think so. It just deodorizes.
Yeah.
We put baking soda all over our furniture. We washed our couch cushions. We washed all the blankets in the house. We washed all the bedding in the house. We washed any clothes that were laying around or whatever. We just deep cleaned everything, and we gave Lady an extensive bath with a certain solution.
Okay.
And my parents came to visit I don't know if it was a few days after this all happened, and they said they didn't smell skunk. That's what I was waiting for, because sometimes you get used to something, and we would go on a walk or go somewhere and we'd come back and I'm like, does this smell like a skunk? I can't tell. And that was a good sign, because the first few days I could tell. Every time I'd come back, I'm like, it smells horrible in here. So I asked my mom, I'm like, does it smell bad? She's like, not at all. I can't even, I can't smell anything. I'm like, okay, perfect. So we have officially eliminated the skunk smell. And then I was driving in my neighborhood the other day and there was a dead skunk in the road. And someone commented that it's like mating season right now for skunks. So they're like a lot more.
Okay. They're on the hunt.
They're out and about.
Interesting.
So I'm keeping my eyes open. But yeah, no more skunk.
Jeez, I cannot believe that.
Me neither.
I saw a lot of comments were like about your Reading story. Somebody were like, that's classic Reading. I'm like, what's happening in Reading?
No, what is this place?
They're like, yeah, that's to be expected. Like what? The coyote, the horrible man.
I know. I thought the same thing. They were like, oh, this doesn't surprise me at all. Like in Reading. I'm like, is it a cursed place? Like what is happening?
Like what do you mean?
I was going to bring that up too. I didn't really know what they meant by that, but okay. I guess Reading is an interesting place with maybe some interesting characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was my first time there.
Very interesting. You know we love a rebrand here at the What We Said podcast. If you are welcoming in the new year with a rebrand, or you're getting your vision board out and you just want to reimagine yourself a little bit, I personally always start with my wardrobe, because something that I really think is important for myself is feeling confident and feeling like I have a way to express myself and be creative. And I love doing that with my wardrobe. So if you are also looking to refresh your look with some good quality pieces that you'll have for a while and that will stay within the budget. Personally, one of my staples in my closet for the last couple years have been good quality sweaters that I can wear. I can dress down, that I can dress up. And Quince has some amazing cozy Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. They also have amazing activewear. They have some moisture wicking bras, leggings, and so many other pieces.
All of Quince's pieces are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands, and they're able to do that by partnering directly with top factories, cutting out the cost of the middleman, and passing the savings on to you. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And of course, these premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel in every piece. I absolutely love Quince. I have their linen bedding and their duvet cover and stuff in my guest room. And I have gotten rave reviews from everyone that has stayed in our guest room. It is so cute. It's really soft. I love linen bedding because it gets softer the more you wash it. And it's just so cozy. And Quince has a lot of really cute patterns. I have like a brown and cream gingham one. And they have tons more if you want to refresh your bedding or your wardrobe. So upgrade your closet this year without the upgraded price tag. Go to quince.com/whatwesaid for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That is QUINCE.com/whatwesaid to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/whatwesaid.
I would just like to update that my mother's intuition is correct once again. And that, okay, we talked about when we were pregnant, like you can kind of feel the energy of them, especially once they're moving. Mm-hmm. Like once they start kicking you, you're like, okay, I can kind of like sense how they're going to be. Mm-hmm. And it's a complete assumption. I would always say, I feel like he is just like on the move, like borderline chaotic in a good way, but like just he's an Aries like me. Like I'm going through doors fast. I'm running down the stairs like when I don't need to be. I'm moving quick and hard and fast. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, he's giving me those vibes. Like I'm scared. I feel like he's going to be just on the move constantly. But then he was born and he was
Angel baby.
Like literally put himself to sleep at, like everyone's like, this baby is so sweet. Like doesn't cry. Like it was hard to get him to be worked up about anything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was wrong. Like he's literally the sweetest, most chill baby ever. Like totally just is so grounded and whatever. And he is still those things. However, he has started crawling now. And I was right in that he is wild. He's so wild now. I'm just like, this is him. This is who I was feeling. Yeah. Like his energy is like now that he's moving and, he's like throwing himself on things. Like maybe it's just classic second child, but like just pushing his way through things, grabbing things so quick to grab things. And like, I can't even explain it, but if you're just like, when you're looking at him crawling and trying to climb things and like climb into things, just like no fear, chaotic neutral, dare I say. Like
chaotic neutral. Not even chaotic good.
He's a baby. He's no good or bad yet. But he's so, like, he is so sweet still. Like, he really has, like, the most, like, sweet energy.
Yeah.
But he is
wild child.
Wild child energy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I knew it. This is the little baby I felt. Like, I knew his energy. I knew him. And this is, like, it's really showing now that his personality is showing. Even how he laughs at things and just, like, the way they interact. And I think now having 2 kids, it's like, okay, I see your first baby, you're like, yeah, this is babies.
Mm-hmm. You see the difference.
Yeah, and then the next one, I'm like, oh, that was not just babies, that was Case.
Just you,
yeah. And then this is a different one. Like, that's so weird.
Trippy to think about having multiple, like,
I know,
beings, and they have different personalities. Like, I literally can't imagine, because obviously I've only had one experience too. But
I know, it's so weird.
It is so crazy, and it's crazy how they evolve, and like their personality just like keeps evolving and changing, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so fun to watch them grow
I know,
up, though.
And don't get me wrong, I love it. Like, I think it's so fun, and him and Case are so different, but they already are playing so well together, and he's just like a fun guy. But it was just it made me feel good. I was like, you know what? I knew it. I knew him. Because when he first came out, I was like, I think I was wrong about him. Like, I had a wrong assumption.
So
he's just like too chill.
He was the chillest.
So
baby.
chill.
Like, so just relaxed.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I definitely see the fire sign coming out on him.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's fun to see.
That is really fun.
Benny's getting so big.
I know. She is. She's very much on the move too. Just like, we're at the stage where it's like, just got to be watching her all the time. And like, really, I mean, not that we weren't before, but it's like, you know, you can be rest assured if they can't really move around that they're not going anywhere. And now it's like, oh, no. She's going. She's going places. And she loves everything that is, again, we just have to like hide everything in sight, like shoes and like all the stuff we don't want her to put in her mouth. It's like, okay, that's got to go.
Yes, the putting in the mouth. It's like really every
immediately.
time.
Yeah. No, but she's so fun. She just gets more, fun every day. And she
is your twin. I saw a baby picture of you for no reason. You'll see later. But I was like,
wait, really?
That is Benny. It was freaking me out.
Me happy. I haven't like compared photos recently, but I feel like the older she gets, she becomes such a mix of us. Like when she was first born, I was like, you look identical to me as a baby.
I definitely see she has like Leif's eye shape.
Yeah, she does have Leif's eyes.
But like, that's it.
Really?
When I saw the baby, I was like, oh my gosh, this is Benny.
Oh,
like the nose, the cheeks.
Yeah.
Just like the baby.
Yeah, the baby.
Like everything. Literally everything. It was so cute. I was literally about to cry my eyes out. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're twins.
Oh, it's
crazy.
She's so fun and sweet.
That's how you know, like you can see, you know, a mom and her baby, or like you see the dad and it's like, oh, I know who they look like. But you got to see the baby pictures because that's the real tell sign.
True.
Is like what they looked like when they were a baby.
That's true.
Because you can think like, oh, this one looks like him.
The only thing is that Leif was really chunky as a baby and I wasn't. And Benny's like chunkier.
Yeah.
Like I was always like a very small baby. Like my mom said I was in the 10th percentile my entire life.
Skinny queen.
Yeah. Goal weight of 6 pounds. I was always just very like everything about me. She's
small.
like, at one point you were like in the 5th percentile of stuff. It's just like,
oh my gosh,
almost like worrisome. It's like, okay, you were, but Benny's always been
turn to the side, you disappear.
No, literally, I'm like, good luck finding my waist to my pediatrician. But my Benny is like very average size. The girl that
goodbye to this lamp. Sorry, everyone.
The lamp was going haywire this episode. Yeah, she's pretty like average size, but she's also just chunkier than I was. So, anyway.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It is really funny.
Eye shape, but also like she does have your eyes though too.
Really?
I don't know. So? She just looks like you.
Okay, go off.
I'm like, Leif doesn't exist.
He's not in this equation.
No, I definitely see a little bit of Leif. It's like a mixture of you two.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
2 updates. I got my living room rug, the brown rug that I was
scared?
experimenting. And also I didn't know if I was ever going to get it. I was scared because I posted about this on my Instagram story, but they like the delivery service or whatever, they had said they were going to deliver on Christmas Eve, but we weren't going to be in town. And so I asked them if we could reschedule for the following week. And then they just like ghosted me essentially.
Awesome.
And then I couldn't the number that I would call wouldn't go through and the email I wouldn't send. And I'm like,
awesome.
Cool. So fridge 2.0, I don't have a rug anymore. Like, this is so annoying. And, you know, blessing in disguise, because it was supposed to get delivered before the skunk thing happened. And I'm like, if that happened, I would have been so mad. Like, gets a brand new fresh rug and then a skunk sprays, and it's like the smell of the skunk is on the rug or something. So anyway, it actually worked out perfect, because literally the day after, like, the scent was fully cleared out, the rug came. I was able to reschedule it. I called the company that I bought it from is like a very reputable brand. So I was like, this makes no sense. So they were like, we'll figure this out for you ASAP. Literally,
it's like the shipping company or whatever.
They're like, that's the delivery service problem, but like, we'll get it figured out. And they did, and it got delivered.
Nice.
Here's a photo of it. It looks so good.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
It looks
That's not the brown I was thinking of.
Thought it was gonna be darker.
Yeah, for some reason, did you say it was maroon? Oh, it's so pretty.
No, I said it was like chocolate brown, which is a little more chestnut brown.
Yeah, I love it.
There were two options.
It like goes seamless.
Yeah, it looks really, really pretty. I'm actually obsessed with it. I'm going to be honest. I ate with this. I'm very happy with it. It's very nerve-wracking putting a huge item in your house that you're just like, hope this looks good.
You move all the furniture.
Move everything. And as we're rolling it out, I'm like, please look good. Like, anyway. So I love it. You can go see it on my YouTube channel. So there's the update there. And lastly, the way I have been absolutely locked and loaded with the book House of My Mother by Shari Franke.
Yeah, I need to start reading it.
Already done with the whole thing.
Oh.
It just came out.
You are?
Yes. I pre-ordered it on my Kindle before it came out. So it was gonna, it just like goes onto your Kindle when it actually releases. So I'd pre-ordered it on there. And then I was like, maybe I'd want the audiobook version so that I can like just listen while I'm getting ready or whatever. And I don't have to because here's the problem. I read every night, but a lot of times I just get so tired when I'm reading that I just don't, I literally read 5 pages and I'm just done. Same. So I'm like, this is going to take me so long to read this book. So anyway, I was like, I'll get the audiobook version. And then when I'm like driving somewhere or if I'm getting ready or something, I can listen to it. Well, I ended up having 2 kind of long drives the day that I got it. And anyway, I listened to it when I was getting ready and blah, blah, blah. Already finished the whole thing.
Wow.
The way I was hanging on every word, first of all, the book was so well done. It was so well written. And I'm not going to obviously go through everything that she talked about and all that stuff. But if you're familiar with the case, then you know, just kind of what it's about. And it is very heavy topics, obviously. Her mom is in prison for child abuse. And she was a family vlogger. They were a family vlog channel. And Shari, the author of the book, she's the oldest daughter of the family. There's 6 kids. And her kind of goal at this point is to make family vlogging illegal, if at all possible.
Yeah.
Because the way she describes it just had me so, I just feel very connected to this story in the sense that they're Mormon family, they're influencers, they have a YouTube channel, just all of it feels very connected. I literally, I know, mutual people with them and stuff. So it just feels like I've just been very interested in this case ever since it's happened. And anyway, she just talks about how, essentially when they started vlogging, I'm pretty sure she was maybe 13 or so. And she's from that point forward, no moment was safe. No moment was my own. It was just there is a camera in my face and there's a camera rolling all the time. Whether it's a big milestone, a birthday, whether I just got a zit and I'm going through acne, or I am going to prom with my date, or it's just a casual Sunday afternoon and I'm sitting on the couch. There's a camera out. And she was just it gave me so... Essentially, she's just talking about the anxiety that it gave her to just be constantly having to perform. And she was on top of it, her mom was so abusive, emotionally abusive, verbally abusive, even physically a little bit. And there was such a stark difference of the life they were living versus what they were showing, even though she would show her kind of shocking parenting choices. But she's it was so much worse than she ever showed it because she wanted to look like the best mother ever. And so it would just be
So bad.
Like, let me make a video of waxing your eyebrows. And Shari would be like, oh, like, I don't really want to. And she'd be like, come on, like, I'll give you $100 if you do it. And she'd be like, okay. Like, she's like, $100 when you're like 15 or whatever. You're like, okay, I'll do that. And then she like did a horrible job on her eyebrows and was just like, has a camera in her face. And Shari's like looking in the mirror, like mortified. She's like, I'm going to have to go to school like this. And her mom's just like, she's like, I could literally see a glimmer in her eye of like, I just got the best content because like, this is kind of a shocking thing. And she's like, our house was morphed into like, this is for content. So there's like, we weren't allowed to put anything on the walls because it needed to be like white and a good canvas for filming. All the light bulbs are like fluorescent, cool lighting to like look better on camera. So she's like, it wasn't built for comfort. It was just built for filming. And just her whole upbringing. And it's like all the kids. And then obviously, as we know, it gets so much more sinister.
Truman Show.
No. It literally is the Truman Show, and it gets so much more sinister than that once Jody Hildebrandt came into their life, who was like a therapist, a mental health counselor that had all these certain beliefs, and the reason that they hired her in the first place was to help their son because they were like, he's so bad and whatever, and she was like, Shari was saying, he's just a normal teenager or normal middle school kid. He just would like kind of make trouble or like whatever, throw something at his friend in class and get in trouble. But it was things like that they were like, they essentially treated him like a juvenile delinquent. They're like, he is not okay. And everyone else is like, he's really just a kid, like kind of just being
figuring it out.
Yeah. And so anyway, that's the reason that they initially hired her, was to like help him. And they sent him to Anasazi, which is that wilderness camp. And then they were like, and now you have to do weekly things with Jody. And then slowly she just like infiltrated their whole family. And so it's just this whole thing. And she does confirm in the book, Shari does, that Ruby and Jody were romantic. Which which like everyone kind of assumed. But she like read her mom's journals and text messages after she went to prison, and she was like, yeah, she confirmed it.
And that's the tea.
And that is some major tea, because in their coaching sessions, because eventually Ruby and Jody kind of joined forces, and like Ruby was kind of her right hand woman and would like make these videos of like coaching methods and like principles that people should live by, like essentially life coaching. And they would do it together and they would make videos. She stopped doing YouTube because they were getting destroyed online. Everyone's like, you're terrifying. Like people were calling CPS and being like, she's not okay. Like Ruby is it's very concerning, the things she does. So they just stopped YouTube altogether. And then she kind of just started this new venture working with Jody.
Oh my gosh, so bad.
Wait, what was I just saying?
She confirmed that they were romantic.
Yeah. But,
and that
But like one of the themes that they would talk about so much in their videos together of like bringing people towards truth and like blah, 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 was they were so homophobic, like very anti-gay. Like in media now, it's just okay to see queer things, like repeatedly being like, being gay is a choice. That's a sin. That's like one of the worst things you can do. Meanwhile, they're literally in a relationship.
Calls coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that.
Like, can you even fathom all of this? And then it just got worse and worse and worse.
So crazy.
And anyway, I just was like, I feel like for her to be able to tell her own story is so powerful. It's like if someone, that's kind of what she was saying. And I think that her and her dad and her brother are filming for like a show basically where they're going to tell their story. I think
like a documentary or something.
Yeah. And I think it is going to be end of February that comes out. But they were basically saying like everyone has so many narratives about us. Like if we're going to, we would like to have control over our own story. And I'm like, I totally get that, because I've seen people have backlash for them being like, well, now you're still profiting off of like your situation essentially. Like, or to Shari being like, well, now you're profiting off of this. It's like, but she deserves to have compensation and share her own story on her own terms. Like that's her life. And there were other stuff in the book that like she's never talked about. Like she was involved with I don't even want to say involved because it's like he is completely in the wrong and she was a victim to him, but with a married like guy that's high up in the Mormon church. And he was basically, anyway.
Shari or Ruby?
Shari.
Oh.
Shari. And she was really young.
Oh.
So this guy was like in his 50s or like 40s maybe, I don't know, like middle-aged guy that fully had a family and had a kid on a mission and was doing things to her and with her. And this was like 2 years ago. This is very recent.
Baby girl.
I know. When she was like fresh into college, like literally 18.
Cry.
And so
sad.
She opens up about that, which is so brave. That is so brave to open up about. And like, anyway,
especially because that's recent
story.
For her.
Yes, it was literally like a few years ago.
Yeah.
So all of it together, I just highly recommend the book. Like, I don't want to even talk more about that because I feel like that's her. Like, I want people to read it and like hear her story and her words. But yeah, just so much. Wow.
I can't insane.
Even begin. And the other thing is that she, I would highly recommend getting the audiobook version too, because she reads it.
Oh, nice.
And so it feels very like personal and raw, and it's a really good read. It's like very interesting. It's very all of it. But what was I going to say? Oh, the other thing is that she is like, I want to be nothing like my mother, so I'm not even going to mention basically anything about my siblings. Like in her book, she's like, this is my story.
Yeah.
And she'll talk about her brother who's just younger than her, Chad, because I think she has his consent to like talk about some things. But she's like, if my younger siblings, the ones who were really severely abused, that they escaped or he escaped, she's like, if and when they want to tell their story, that's their story. Yeah. But like, I'm not going to speak to what they've been through, which I also thought was very respectable. Like,
that is good.
She was like,
they're not even old enough at this point to know if they're consenting.
Exactly.
They're still like little kids.
And that was kind of her point. She's like, I'm not going to.
I forgot about those kids.
I know.
The younger ones. Like, I mean, I didn't forget about them, but it's like, that's
the bulk of it.
That's like,
or that's the worst part of it.
Yeah.
But it's like and
they're still going through it. It's like, not just like, and everything's better.
Yeah. And the thing is,
the
too,
aftermath's probably horrible.
That Shari, like, that she talks about that is basically she didn't say, how do I put this? Basically, she doesn't ever plan to have a relationship with her mom. Like, that's the vibe I was getting. Mm-hmm. And she is like, just completely removed, and like it doesn't matter what she does or says. Like, she was interviewed and they were like, oh, do you think your mom's sorry? And she's like, as sorry as she can be, but she's not even capable. She's like, I don't believe she is capable of understanding what she's done. Like, she basically was just saying, like, I believe that my mom has narcissistic personality disorder. Like, I believe she is a true narcissist. And she's like, that word is very thrown around, but it's like, when you're a narcissist, you don't just think the world revolves around you. Like, you are the universe. Yeah. Like, you are the world. And you don't understand, like, anything that you're always a victim to your circumstance. Like, you don't understand. You don't take accountability. And she was saying, like, her mom wrote her a letter and it was all just like, she's like, she didn't even apologize for, like, the bulk of, like, what's important. She's just talking about, like, memories of, like, you were my baby and, like, I decorated your nursery. And she's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
How about how you abused me for my whole childhood? Like, can we get into that part? It's just like, she's like, she doesn't
like her
get
selfishly,
it
like, oh, but these things I did for you.
Yeah,
it's just
she's
all
like
selfish.
Yes, like trying to go back to like before it was bad. And she's like, but what? You don't even. And she was even saying, like, she thinks that the reason that her mom pleaded guilty and like turned on Jody, because now in prison, she's like, she's basically positioning herself as like, I was a victim, Ruby is, of Jody. Like, she deluded my mind. She manipulated me so much that, like, I did these things, essentially. And Shari is basically saying, like, she's only doing that to, like, to possibly get less time, to get in good graces, to position herself. It's all self-serving.
She was doing it before Jody.
Yeah, and that's what she's saying. She's like, what about apologizing for, like, exploiting our lives for all the time before we met Jody? She's like, yes, that expedited everything. That made it all horrible. You were abusive before Jody.
Yeah, she kind of just enabled you. It's not like she necessarily manipulated you.
Yeah. So anyway, it is really, really good read now that I've recapped the whole book. But everyone should get it. It's called House of My Mother. Super fascinating. And yeah, I'm glad that the story is out there from her perspective now. Yeah. Because she deserves to say her piece.
I need to read it.
Yeah. Check it out. Anything else that you want to chat about today?
No, I think we covered every topic under the sun. We still might have some pieces from our drop from our In Your Dreams collection. So definitely go check it out. There might be some robes left. I think, maybe. Again, go look for yourself. It's linked in the description or the show notes.
They're so cute, you guys.
So
Everything
cute.
is so cute. The robe is so cozy. It's the best colors. I was filming the other day just in my bathroom. I was getting ready and I was wearing the robe and I'm like, this is freaking cute.
Yeah.
It's the perfect colors. It's really cute. We have a little embroidery on the side, and the journal is perfect. If you're also in your reset month, okay, you don't have to start January 1st. If you want to write down some manifestations, feel all the good vibes, write down some things, our My Dream Life journal is perfect for this, and it's so cute next to your bed too. So definitely check that out. Thanks for listening to us yap, guys, about everything under the sun today. We're going to go hit our Pilates class, and I'm starving. So what are we going to eat?
Starving. We have 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, we got to find a snack before then.
I'll eat the crumbs in my car.
We love you guys so much. And
that's what we said. Goodbye.
Bye.